Welcome to this lesson on finding explicit information. This is one of the most fundamental reading skills, and it is actually the most straightforward. The answer is always right there in the text. You just need to know where to look and what traps to avoid. By the end of this lesson, you will be faster and more accurate at pulling facts out of any passage. Here is what we will cover. First, practical scanning techniques to find facts quickly. Then, how to tell the difference between what a text actually says versus what it implies. We will look at how information is often paraphrased in answer options. And finally, the 3 most common traps that catch people out. The key thing to remember throughout this lesson is that explicit means directly stated. You can point to the exact words. Let us be clear about what explicit means. Explicit information is directly stated in the text. You can literally point to the exact words. Look at the 2 examples on screen. The first says the organization raised $45,000. That is explicit. You can see the number right there. The second says the fundraiser was the most successful event. That sounds factual, but it is actually implied. The text does not compare it to other events. When a question asks what is explicitly stated, you need an answer you can trace back to specific words in the passage. Here is a practical technique that will save you a lot of time. For explicit information questions, do not read the entire passage first. Instead, follow these 4 steps. First, read the question and identify exactly what it is asking for. Is it a date? A name? A number? Second, scan the passage for keywords from the question. Let your eyes move quickly across the text without reading every word. Third, once you find the keyword, read the sentence it appears in, plus the sentence before and after for context. Fourth, match what you found to the answer options. This process takes about 20 to 30 seconds instead of 2 to 3 minutes of reading the whole thing. Let us work through an example. Here is a passage about a camp. The question asks what is the maximum number of participants. Let us scan for keywords. Maximum, number, participants. There it is near the end. Numbers are limited to 90 participants. The answer is C. Now, look at the traps. Option A is 185, which is the cost, not the number of participants. That detail is in the text, but it answers a different question. Option B says everyone who registers, which might seem logical, but the text does not say that. And option D says the text does not say, but it clearly does. The answer was right there. This example shows a common challenge. The passage says the project is expected to take 4 weeks. But look at the answer options. None of them say 4 weeks. Option C says approximately 1 month. 4 weeks is approximately 1 month. This is paraphrasing, and it happens a lot. The correct answer often will not use the exact same words as the text. It might say roughly the same thing in different language. Do not be thrown off by this. Option A says the entire July break, which sounds plausible but is not stated. Option B says 1 week, which confuses the relocation period with the project duration. And option D is nonsensical. Now let us talk about the 3 traps. Trap 1 is the probably true answer. This is an option that sounds logical and reasonable, but the text never actually says it. You might think it is true based on common sense, but explicit means it must be stated directly. Trap 2 is the wrong detail answer. This one is sneaky because it uses a real fact from the passage, but it answers a different question than the one being asked. Always reread the question before selecting your answer. Trap 3 is the paraphrase, and this one is important. The correct answer often uses different words to express the same idea. This is not a trap to avoid. It is something to recognize. 4 weeks and approximately 1 month mean the same thing. Let us put those traps to work. The question asks when individual plans should be reviewed. Scanning for the words plans and reviewed, we find should have their individual plans reviewed at least 2 weeks before the testing window. The answer is B. Now look at the traps. Option A says during testing week. That is the wrong timing. Option C says by the end of term 2, but that is when results come out, not when plans are reviewed. That is trap 2, the wrong detail from the right passage. And option D says at the start of term 1, which sounds reasonable, but the text never says that. That is trap 1, the probably true answer. Now it is your turn. Pause the video and read the passage about a library renovation. Try to answer each question using the scanning technique. Question 1. How long will the renovations take? Scan for duration or length. 6 weeks. Question 2. Where can people borrow during renovations? Scan for borrow. The mobile van. Question 3. Who funded the renovation? Scan for funded. The government threw a $35,000 grant. Question 4. Is the van available on Fridays? This is a tricky one. The text says Monday to Thursday. So no, not on Fridays. Notice how the answer requires you to recognize what is not included in a list. Let us recap. Explicit information means directly stated in the text. You should be able to point to the exact words. Use the scanning technique. Read the question first, find keywords in the passage, then read the target sentence plus one sentence either side. Watch for the 3 traps, probably true answers that are not actually stated, real details that answer a different question, and paraphrased correct answers that use different wording. The golden rule is simple. If you cannot point to the exact words in the passage, it is not explicit. Practice this skill and you will get faster and more confident every time.